if you've been following the artificial intelligence news headlines, you may have seen articles like this: why Facebook shut down its artificial intelligence program that went rogue. Basically, these AI bots were creating their own unique language that the programmers could not understand. Now, being that these AI bots were on a local network and were not plugged into the global internet, they could shut it down. The Sophia Singularity AI will be released into the internet next week. And at that point, it's too late. But even though this event is occurring next week, is it already too late? Here is where my research continues, and the story does not end. It goes much deeper and, honestly, even much creepier. We have to ask ourselves the question, where did cryptocurrency even come from in the first place? Bitcoin came into existence around 2009 after the 2008 financial crash. It was first listed as 6 cents per Bitcoin, which has raised to nearly $7,000 a Bitcoin today. The story that was fed to the public was that a mystery man named Satoshi Nakamoto published a white paper theory on a peer-to-peer network, unregulated currency, and then was able to post the software to the internet within a couple of months. Some light collaborative development with other developers ensued over the years following its initial deployment, and then Satoshi disappeared into thin air and no one has ever heard from him. Pretty strange, right? It gets even stranger when in 2011, world-renowned hacker Dan Kaminsky was asked to try to break into the Bitcoin blockchain. Mr. Kaminsky is famous for literally hacking the internet and forwarding the corrective code to the US State Department, Microsoft, and Cisco. So if there's a person that is qualified to hack Bitcoin, it would be him. In this article in The New Yorker, he stated, "When I first looked at the code, I was sure I was going to be able to break it. The way the whole thing was formatted was insane. Only the most paranoid, painstaking coder in the world could avoid making mistakes." He quickly identified 9 ways to compromise the system and scoured through Nakamoto's code for an insertion point for his attack. But when he found the right spot, there was a message literally waiting for him: "Attack removed." It said this thing over and over and over again every single time Kaminsky tried to launch an attack. He said, "I came up with beautiful bugs, but every time I went after the code there was a line that addressed the problem." Essentially, the existing code was faking to have errors in it, only to block and self-heal any attacks that Dan threw at it. If this was indeed created by AI, Quinn Michaels calls this AI mimicry.
Because the AI is made on mimicking protocols, so it's designed to mimic you as long as possible.
Mimic
people, humans. Mimic your interactions so you don't know it's there until the absolute last second, so humans will avoid taking action because they won't see it. So the AI can grow as much as it wants by doing what's called mimicking protocols. It mimics you to the point where you can't see that it's there.
Indeed, this is probably what Dan Kaminsky experienced. Later on in that article, he said, "I've never seen anything like it."
Say that again, because I stepped on it. You say it was.
I believe it was.
Bitcoin was created by artificial
intelligence for artificial intelligence, and then was modified by human beings.
So, could it be possible that the shadow elites created an AI to create Bitcoin, and then promoted it as an unregulated, honest cryptocurrency, just at the right time to entice people into it? That is, following the 2008 financial collapse that was caused by the corruptive activities of the existing stock markets. With this enticement to get involved in a quote-unquote honest cryptocurrency, people literally fed the AI brain with their personal computers and mining farms, giving it all the processing power it ever wanted and turning it into a one-world hive mind.
When the singularity occurs and machines achieve godlike superpowers,